Christmas week.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry
ho.
Christmas. You know what? I've been on the
Merry
good list
Christmas.
this year. My gift I want from Santa is for the Cowboys to get their ass kicked by the Eagles on Christmas Eve. Let me get a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hit it, Dalt.
We got your first call. Why don't you introduce the gentleman first? I'll hit it for you. 1 second. Let me cue it up.
Hey, Brett. What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is, but their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302BIRDS sent you. God bless. Go Birds. Hey, what's up, Brett?
Yo, Brett.
What's going on, y'all? How we doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
It's been a minute since we had you on the show.
Oh yeah, I've been excited to get back on here.
Hi, I mean, tough season ending. I watched the game.
Yeah.
But I will say it was nice seeing you guys get into the playoffs because I wasn't.
Yeah, it was cool, especially for my first, college year. I mean, that was real cool. Especially we went pretty far too.
Exactly. I have one question, then you can get into my questions. Your quarterback, so your starting quarterback. I'm not going to say names. Do you think it is smart that he's joined the draft?
Yeah, I mean, he had an outstanding year. I mean, he's been nominated for many awards. He broke several records at the University of Delaware. So, if he feels like that's what he needs to do, I mean, I'm all support for him. I love the guy. He's been nothing but nice to me as soon as I stepped to the door. And, he's putting up crazy numbers, and people have seen the tape. Why? I mean, dude's balling.
Yeah, no, when I saw that, I was like, wow, damn, holy shit, this is huge.
Yeah.
But Brett, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, my questions was about the Eagles. Actually. I want to know. I had this argument with actually my dad recently, and who, in my opinion, was the best offensive addition this year and the best defense addition this year? Because we have a lot of new guys on the team for the Eagles, and I feel like offense is pretty clear who it is, but I think defense is kind of up in the air.
Yeah, I'll take it first, and then we can go around the horn. I personally think, I mean, it's a given answer. It's AJ Brown. Yeah. I mean, that dog, he is a dog. Like he's putting up crazy numbers this year, and it's nice to have that connection with Jalen Hurts. We were talking about it last week. Jalen Hurts is the godfather of AJ Brown's firstborn. So having that connection is huge, and it goes to show on the field how well he's playing. Granted, he has hot and cold games, mainly hot games, but last week he had a nice catch, a long catch, but he wasn't playing as well as he should have in previous weeks. And then the second part of that question, defense, yeah, damn, that's a hard one. But I'm gonna have to go with Gardner Johnson. I mean, man before his injury leads the league with interceptions, most interceptions they have. Good addition to the team. It was sad to see him go down. He should be back in the playoffs. Reed Blankenship should be back. He stepped up huge when we needed him. So in my opinion, I think offense, AJ Brown clearly, and then defense, obviously. Now I'm saying it. Maybe Hassan Riddick, because he played so well last week. But that was the Bears, but that's my opinion. So I think top one is probably Gardner Johnson for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with you too, man. I mean, I got a soft spot for Hassan because we both edge rushers, and he's the same height as me too.
And he's a Philly guy. He went to Temple, Brett. Doesn't that make you like him even more?
I know. So I got a soft spot for Hassan.
Oh, for sure.
I'm with you though, Brett. In my opinion, to answer your question, I heard it downstairs. I apologize. I was setting up our TikTok, but yeah, in my opinion, it's 100% Hassan Reddick defensively. AJ Brown, it's the clear-cut, undisputed. Jack's right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we'll get to that later in the show when I remind Jack a little bit of my take. We'll get to that. Anyways, the point is Hassan Reddick is undisputably, I think we've seen this past game has established it. He is the edge rusher that the Eagles have had. And you know who he kind of reminds me of? one of Jack Jordan's favorite players, number 58. He brings that same, not in the same way that they play. I think Hassan Reddick's a lot faster. I just mean in the same demeanor that they bring to the city. They're not very outspoken guys, but their play is outspoken, if you understand what I mean. So I'm really excited to see what he can do for years to come in Philadelphia.
Don't. I think there's one guy everybody's overlooking, though. And so on the offensive side, obviously, it's undisputed. But on the defensive side, I think there's one guy you guys are overlooking. James Bradbury. Think about it. If a quarterback isn't getting his number called, it's because he's playing such lockdown defense that a quarterback's too afraid to even throw it his way. It's the same. Big play Slay has the same issues. Why do you think he doesn't have like the big interception all the time? It's because no one wants to throw it near him because he's so locked down that that a sack's occurring before anyone can ever hope to get anyone open.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So while you're not hearing his name pop up all the time, and I think he's a
unsung hero.
And that's a good thing that you're not hearing his name pop up all the time. I see your point.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but honestly, I'm going to go back to what Dalt was saying. I think it is Hassan Reddick. I think, honestly, he's made such a big impact for this team. I mean, the sack numbers he's had this year is insane. I'm pretty sure I heard that he maybe got snubbed for the Pro Bowl or not. I mean, I don't really know.
No, he made it. He made it.
Oh, he did make it? Okay, he made it.
Yeah.
He made
Hargrave got snubbed. Just what
Hargrave got snubbed, so that sucks. But I would probably, as Tom was saying, it's got to be AJ Brown on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, just the impact he has made this year is just insane, and the way that he's made Hurts even a better quarterback. And I mean, it's given Hurts way more confidence in his game as well. So, but I got to go with AJ Brown and Hassan Reddick.
Yeah. All good answers. Brett, did you get to who your answer was yet? I don't know if we asked you that. I was downstairs, so I apologize if you did.
Yeah, we did. I said Hassan Reddick.
Good answer.
You say AJ Brown and Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
I think just the amount that he brings to the table, too, to being a younger guy and being able to even show Josh Sweat, guys like that. Like, hey, here's a couple of things that I pick up. Maybe we're both speed guys. Maybe we both can use a similar technique, a similar move. And that kind of stuff, that's unspoken stuff that just goes into the locker room. Hey, Preston, I appreciate you for reaching out. Just hit me up and we'll get you on the show. We're all booked up tonight, buddy. It's a good problem to have, but we appreciate you for reaching out, dog. You know I love you, man. But, hey, Brett, do you have anything else you want to say before we keep it running?
I don't really have anything else to say.
Brett, what we expecting? What we expecting for the Cowboys game?
I think the Eagles defense is going to shut down that offense, and I think our offense is going to thrive with or without Jalen.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
What the score is going to be?
My score prediction is going to be 28-3. That's my score prediction.
Damn.
Eagles win.
Eagles winning, baby.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Brett, you're always an honor to be on the show. Appreciate it. And have a good one. Have a good holiday.
Thank you, Brett.
Birds. Go Birds to both birds.
Oh, good.
Have a good one.
Yeah, the Hens and the Eagles.
Well,
Cool.
Before we move on, I think we forgot to mention, I think KJ McCoy is shaved.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do a little update on that. You
naked.
look like
Oh,
a
shit.
boy.
Shaved a little bit. Yeah.
Do we have to censor that? He's looking a bit naked there, Dutch.
Yeah, he looks.
Geez.
He
I
looks
know.
like,
I've been stripped of it, man. I've been stripped of it. It just was
We're not trying to lose
the
Kirk.
squirrel was
That might be perfect time before we get into our next segment, too. I'll kick it off early tonight.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dorden, the mayor of Delaware.
Is that it?
Yes.
Look at my
So,
phone.
Fantasy Football Network. I appreciate. Dalton, say something.
Yeah, what the
KJ,
heck?
check your phone.
Okay. Jesus
Fantasy
Christ.
Football
The chat,
Network.
idiot.
I have used the chat.
Oh my God,
Oh.
you ruined it. You're ruining this. Fantasy Football Network. I appreciate you sponsoring this segment. Okay. The question we got for tonight is, what nickname did Randall Cunningham go by? Again, what nickname did Randall Cunningham go by? The nicknames we got are the Ultimate Weapon, Starship 12, Hammy,
I think it's B.
or both A and B. Again, answers are The Ultimate Weapon, Starship 12, Hammy, and both A and B.
God, no, he's not named after a hamster. Are you kidding me?
We'll get the answer at the end of the
It's
show.
definitely after a hamster.
But put in the comments what you guys think it is. Yeah, thanks, Nancy, for what network?
All right, and going off of that segment, we're just going to do back-to-back segments tonight, gents. It's time for one of your favorite parts of the show.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? So, KJ's court is here, and I got a special guest, TJ. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Pretty good, man. What do you think about these Sixers so far? I mean, right now we're on a hot streak, man. 5 games in a row. We got the Knicks coming up, man. Christmas Day. What you got for me?
Christmas Day, Knicks. That's going to be a big game. I'll tell you what. I mean, it has been an emotional roller coaster, to say the least, the start of the season. I mean, really came out flat, but ultimately now getting to a point where we're 17-12, looking all right, turning around, 5th in the East. We can live with that. But ultimately, you know, I feel like there's this kind of growing anxiety that the team is limited in what they're going to be able to achieve under Glenn Rivers, you know, so there's a big worry there. But, you know, we got a big statement game coming up, Christmas New York Knicks game. It doesn't get any better than that. You know
MSG,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. So,
MSG,
you
man.
know, definitely. I mean, we're only, you know, we're about a third of the way through the season, you know, so a lot of basketball left to be played. But ultimately, it's been a wild ride so far.
TJ, let me ask you this. I know this is KJ's segment, but do you think we need to fire the coach?
Glenn Rivers.
Yeah, Glenn Rivers.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Ultimately, Doc Rivers, you can maybe argue that he's half a step up from Brett Brown, but I think Brett Brown managing the talent that this team has now, I feel like Doc Rivers has come into a better situation with the Sixers than when Brett Brown left. But somehow we're not making the leap. I mean, we're not making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We're losing to the Hawks. I mean, it's a mess. And it's routine mismanagement at this point by Doc. We have too many talented players on this team. I mean, between Joel Embiid, James Harden, our young star Tyrese Maxey. I mean, are you kidding me? It's just the play calling is a little lazy at times. I see a lot of James Harden driving directly into the lane, throwing the ball straight up in the air, hoping for the foul shots, you know, and that just indicates to me that they've got nothing drawn up, nothing creative anyway, nothing good, you know. So I do worry. I have this real anxiety that we're never going to get Joel his ring as long as Doc Rivers is here, limiting him, you know. Stuff.
Yeah, he does deserve a ring. I'll give you that for sure, man.
He truly does, man.
He does, man.
Look who joined the party. Oh, my goodness. Tom looks like he's about to dance here.
Wait, you know.
Repping the Iron Pigs, too.
Do I get my intro?
Intro. Do you want like a fucking
No.
for you, buddy?
I'm a be.
Guys,
All right, count to 7, and then I have to mute it so we don't get copyrighted. But he's doing his own thing over there. Welcome to the show, Dan Matranga.
The guy that has tried to be on the show multiple times and finally come on.
Yeah, you know, I'm a busy guy. I got other obligations to attend to. But you know,
his other obligations are just getting plastered at McGillen's Ale House every night.
This is a kid show, please.
I mean, I think Dan's a little sick because he's losing fantasy.
Yeah, my understanding is I'm here to talk fantasy. I'm here to talk about my team. I'm here to talk about my opponent and the league as a whole.
Not yet. We still got to get through the Sixers segment. We brought you on here because I know you're an avid Sixers fan, Dan, and I figured your banter with TJ would be a priceless investment into this podcast. That's why I brought you on for the Sixers segment to tell us, are you scared of Julius Randle? Because KJ is about to shit his pants, just like the Seagulls fan, over Julius Randle. We were texting about it today. He's a little bit scared. Are you?
Julius Randle's a bum. I'm not scared of that guy.
You want my opinion on the Sixers?
I ain't scared of him.
Yeah,
I don't care about the Sixers. I barely watch the Sixers. I could care less about the Sixers. I tell you, Doc needs to be fired. I tell you, this team has let me down in the playoffs. I don't start watching the playoffs like avidly, and this team has let me down like the last 4 years. And ever since then, after the quiet shot, I just don't really watch this team, and I don't care about them. I care about the Phillies. I care about the Eagles. I don't really give a shit about the Flyers either.
No one does.
They're on, but no. In my honest opinion, I don't care about the Sixers.
Dan,
That's blasphemy.
Are you like me? Have you watched even a full quarter this season yet?
I don't know. I saw they're cocking the Pistons right now.
I haven't watched a full quarter. I'll be honest. I haven't watched a full quarter.
They're hot.
This year.
They're 12-5 at home. The Beats on a roll. I mean, they're hot right now. Harden's playing well, averaging 25 and 6. I mean,
Yeah, but
good
I feel
right
like
now,
this
but I don't
season
care.
has the same feel as every other season. They'll look good in the regular season. They'll get by the first round, and then they'll choke in the second round.
Yeah. I mean, if Doc Rivers is a coach, then yeah, that will happen.
That guy, I tell you, that guy needs to be fired. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's got to
As long as
go.
that guy's coaching.
Yeah.
No motivation for the squad. He's that guy's a horrible coach.
TJ,
Peter Brett Brown.
One last question.
Sure.
Do you think the Sixers,
TJ.
as of right now, will make the playoffs?
Sixers, as of right now, making the playoffs. Yeah,
fifth
They'll make the playoffs.
I think they do because you know what I mean. Even if they squeak by as a 7 or 8 seed, like I can see that happening. I mean, I'm not super worried. I'm more worried that they're not going to advance past the second round. That's what gets me. I am pretty confident that they'll at least make the playoffs, even if we're disappointed in how they get there. I do worry that they, won't win a series. If they're out in the first round, that would really be heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, they always have always made to disrespect us and make it past not make it past the second round. And our hopes are super high, and then they say
it's time to bring up Sam Cassell. It's time to bring him up.
I mean, he's a player's coach, man. The guy, it's clear that the guys love him. It's clear that they're working with him. He's an established guy. He's been around. I see no problem with it. I mean, I think we've got guys that can step up. He has stepped up in situations where Doc hasn't been able to be out there on the floor. So, yeah, I mean, that's completely fair.
Right.
Real quick, while we have you here, TJ, do you watch any hockey at all? I don't know if you do. I can't remember.
Oh, hell yeah, boss. I was at the Flyers game last night. I had to see my my hometown hero, Johnny Gaudreau. He grew up just 15 minutes from where I live at home. Yeah, so I was out there last night. We were out there. They announced the referees. We had to pre-boo them before they got out on the ice because sometimes you just get that feeling, In the end, we won the game 5-3, looking good. Empty net goal seals it there. But it was against the Blue Jackets, right? It's a weak team with a star. So we feel good getting wins against those kinds of teams. You get to see Johnny Gaudreau. We're looking through the glass like he's a gorilla at the zoo. There he goes. Oh, Johnny Gaudreau, he's a star.
He should have been ours.
Yeah,
he should have been ours. I went on a rant a couple weeks ago about this. So
he looks terrible in blue. He looks terrible in blue.
He does. Looks terrible.
Hey, losing 9 of the past 10, though, TJ, what's your opinion on that? I mean, is it the team? Is it the coach? Is it the ownership? Is it a blend of all three? What's going on?
I'll tell you what. The team is young. They've had some issues with injuries, and we're definitely in a rebuilding phase. The ownership is terrible. Comcast needs to sell the team. They're a soulless corporation, and I hate them. But ultimately, I think the one bright spot on the team is the coaching. I think the way they came out at the beginning of the season, getting a few wins early on, just getting out to a hot start shows that there's some potential with these young guys. And we do have a coaching staff that knows how to recognize that and capitalize on it. But ultimately, the team is extremely limited in its talent. It's kind of got the opposite problem of what the Sixers have.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's a very depressing franchise as a whole. It's interesting to me, and I don't watch a lot of hockey, but I did read up on the story, and I know Zet, who can't be here tonight, explained it a little bit to me. But in the way that I look at it, it's kind of like one of those things where it's just not a good look on Hayes, like right now. Like, he's not taking the criticism well. I think, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, number 14, Konecny. Had he got benched, Konecny, sorry. He got benched earlier in the year.
Konecny.
I'm not even going to try to say it again. But I know he got benched earlier in the year, and what it seems like is he took it really well. So just seeing about how other players take it, I mean, obviously we know Torts is a hard ass, and that's what he brings to the table. That's why they brought him in. You just got to understand what you're dealing with and just understand, okay, I got to take this slap on the wrist. And if I'm going to be embarrassed, I'm going to be embarrassed. This is what I signed up for and what I'm getting paid millions of dollars to do. And real quick, before we move on, I do want to hit this.
He shoots, he scores! Time for Slap Shots with Zep. Flyers talk from 302 Birds.
Thank TickPick real quick for sponsoring this segment. If you guys don't already, use the TickPick app. Use code 302BIRDS. Orders up to $99, $10 off. And seriously, the best pricing you can get. Tommy, you've been real quiet over there. I know you're a diehard fan. What's your opinion on this guy? Is this a cop-out or?
I think it's just one of those things that happens over the course of the year. Like the team's been sucky all year. Here, Hayes was looked at as like kind of almost like a captain or like someone in a leadership position in terms of the players, and he's kind of sucked. Like he hasn't sucked, but the team itself has sucked. And Tortorella probably like came at him as like he needs to step up as a captain, and it sounded like tempers flew. They had quite a few arguments, and so he skipped team breakfast the next day because he was in a heated because he was upset with Tortorella. I don't think it's like as deep as some people are trying to make it, but it is what it is.
The guy is tough. The guy is tough.
Another thing there too is I think you got to look at it in context, right? Like last season, Kevin Hayes struggled with injury, and that was noted as one of the reasons why the team ultimately struggled last season. Now he's back. He's come out a little bit flat. The team had early success, but he really hasn't. And so, yeah, the coach is coming down hard on him, and now he's in the situation where he's like, what the hell? Yeah, I mean, I thought everybody missed me. Now I'm back. I'm working through this. I'm a little rusty. Got to shake it off. And so, he's all up in his feelings and stuff like that because he's had a rough time of things. But ultimately, yeah, he is a guy that's in a leadership position, and so maybe looking at that, maybe looking at a captainship or something here, that's something he's got to work for, and maybe he thought he was entitled to or something. I mean, I don't want to, go putting words in his mouth or anything like that, certainly just because he missed a breakfast. But, yeah, I mean, it's maybe not as easy as a path to leadership as he might have suspected or something. It's a complex situation for sure.
Definitely. TJ. Well, TJ, I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. And if you ever want to come back on, seriously, text us. We want you as a what we call a revolving door regular for the Sixers. You definitely know your stuff on that. Just a little bit flustered this week with the graphics, but appreciate you as always. And thanks for subbing in on the Flyers, too. We'll have to keep you on coming on that one, too.
Yeah, sure thing, man. I'm here for all of it. Yeah, thanks for having me, fellas. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Go on.
See you, dude. All right. Dan, I know that you need a consultant because your fantasy team sucks and your fantasy team made the playoffs and my fantasy team didn't make the playoffs. That's why we're bringing you on the show tonight for Come to Papa, sponsored by Football Helper. If you guys haven't already, check out Football Helper, our newest sponsor. They are the best place to get all your fantasy football advice. Dan, what's up with this team? Who are you playing in the playoffs this week, if I remember correctly? Some D-bag or something?
Well, first off, my team and my managing skills need no advice because I'm a three-peat champ in my other league.
That doesn't matter here. We don't care. We don't give a shit. Anyway, keep going.
I just need to list all my
This is a different animal, man.
Different animal? You got Jack Thornton in this league. Come on now. But you see my team.
He is an animal. That is true.
You see my team, it's elite. And, as I'm on here, I wanted to run through some stats because we all love stats. So sure. I'm going to list my team out real quick. And, you guys can decide. So first on my list, my quarterback, Justin Fields. He leads the league in quarterback rushing yards. He's QB5 in fantasy. And I'll tell you what, you get that guy an elite receiver, and he's a stud. He's an absolute stud. He's a top 2 quarterback. He contends right up there with Mahomes and Allen and Hurts. And, a lot of people are going to hate on this, but, Tua, very average last year, has Tyreek Hill and Waddle. He's nice this year. This is going to be very controversial. Hurts was very, very average last year. Got him A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. That's an elite duo. Burrow, he has Jamar. You see these guys who have elite receivers.
He had Devonta Smith last year,
who was very, very average. Yes, he had 900 yards and about 65 receptions. He was good.
Yeah, 916.
He was the only guy to throw to. The Goddard was fine, but you get this guy an elite receiver, and he is a stud. I'm telling you that. And,
Sure.
Jack Jordan wants to say he's very average, and that kid's ignorant. So, Christian McCaffrey, he is elite. He's nothing but elite. He's running back 3 right now. He's going to be a top 2 pick in next year's draft. He is 12th in rushing yards, and he's 5th in all-purpose yards. Stud. Don't need to go anymore. James Conner, he had some injuries. He bounced back. He is currently RB6 since returning from injury, and he is averaging 15 points, and he's a very viable flex. Could be an RB2. Keenan Allen, in his last 5 games from injury, he has 2 touchdowns in 5 games, and he's averaging 16 since week 11. Stud numbers. TJ Hawkinson, he is tight end 2. Who gives a shit? Jerry McKinnon has 4 touchdowns in 4 games. He is very, very active in the passing game and the rushing game, and he's going against the worst run defense in the league this week. Good stuff. The Broncos, their stud defense. If Russell Wilson actually wasn't a fucking bum, that team would have a winning record. I saw a fun stat. If they scored 18 points in the last 7 or 8 games, they'd have a winning record, which is mind-blowing. And then Tyler Bass, the Automator, he's 27 and 30 for field goals this year, and he's 121 total points. Doesn't get better than that.
But let me refresh your memory. You lost to Tom Salucci in the first round of playoffs by a kicker.
And
Jack.
I'm so happy.
Correction. This is still the first week of the playoffs. Dan, I'll even come to your defense on this one. It's the first week of the playoffs still, because it's a 2-week period, not 1 week.
Which is true, and I love that he brings this up because it makes him look even more stupid. The way he phrases this, it's like Graham Gano had 30 points to come back and beat me for the week. Like, that's just not the case. Like, all right, fine, I was down by 2, and Graham Gano has 3 points. You're gonna still say, oh, you got beat by a kicker? Like, that logic is just absolutely ridiculous.
Well,
his logic on Justin Fields is ridiculous, and his logic on all fantasy football is completely ridiculous. So anything that comes out of the kid's mouth is
but
nonsense.
we know these are the 4 right here on the screen right now that are in the playoffs in the winners bracket, and we know that you and I will be in the finals.
That's
you
not
and I
true.
will be in the
Tom could beat me this week. I'm not going to sit here and act
I'm already going to kick KJ's ass, so it's fine.
Yeah, somehow I lost.
That's a big problem with fantasy football. You got people out here saying, oh, I'm going to kick your ass, like I'm destined to win. Like, it's fantasy football. Dudes go off who aren't supposed to. You got these waiver wire pickups dropping 30. Zay Jones, who thought that dude was going to go off? Like,
just like how Tom Brady can't have 2 bad weeks in a row.
He's had a whole season of bad games. What is he, quarterback 15?
Retire already, man. Retire.
He's terrible.
He's 14.
He's a very bad fantasy option right now. And his weapons. Godwin's healthy. Mike Evans is healthy. Like, he's got guys to throw the ball to, and he stinks. So,
yeah,
fantasy football is very different than actual football talent. But I reside. My team is nice. Salute. I'm coming for you this week. I'm only down by 5. I think we're very tight in our projections. You not having Hurts is very big for me.
I know.
I'm ready to start.
There's 20 points like off the board for me right there.
Yeah, Hurts is there's like a
Hurts.
Who is your backup? Who is your backup?
I had to pick up someone this week because I dropped my backup because I went through an injury string.
You picked up Minshew, right?
What?
Pick up Minshew?
Minshew.
No, I got Brady.
You were just talking shit on Brady.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah, literally.
But there's no one better. Dak sucks because all he does is hand the ball off to Pollard or Zeke. So he's a bad fantasy quarterback. Like, I don't know how Minshew's going to do. And whoever that stud is in San Francisco, he just hands it off to McCafferty.
Brock Purdy,
He's not really that great. He's a game manager. He doesn't produce fantasy points. So there were no options besides really Brady per se.
Hey,
yeah,
Danny boy.
Yo.
Can you give me predictions? Appreciate you coming on for the game this week.
Eagles?
Yep.
Dallas is a top 5 defense. Eagles don't have their starting quarterback.
But Dak Prescott sucks ass, as in the words of Shady McCoy.
Everyone says
ass.
Back from injury, he's going to be great. Everyone says CeeDee Lamb is better than AJ Brown. All these false.
When did he say sucks ass?
I'd say
like today.
Pull it out. I said the Eagles pulled out.
He said he's ass. He didn't say sucks in there.
Shut up. What'd you say, Dan?
I'd say the Eagles pulled out 20-17 this week.
Okay.
Hold on, Dan. I have one more question for you, too.
What's up?
Will I be getting a FaceTime with your pants down after this game?
Come on, man. There's kids on this app.
Again, sorry, because this has happened in the past for our viewing audience.
Yeah. Whatever. Have I proved my point yet? That my
Yes.
team is elite, and all you naysayers out
Good
there.
to go. Appreciate you for coming on, Dan. Thank you, man.
I want you guys to recap next week for me after I beat the pants off of Saluch.
Hey,
I want you
Tom,
guys to
don't you
recap.
want Dan to tell you a coaching story or something?
Yeah, Dan, tell me a good coaching story.
We beat you to the punch, man. Damn, he's good with it.
Oh God.
Let's bridge into our next topic. Wow, Tom, you still haven't said it for Mason. Will you just say it and then bridge into the next topic to make Mason's night? Give us a good one.
No, he's got to work for it a little bit more. I'll
All right.
wants it.
Tom's making sure we get our viewership.
Yeah.
I like it. Tom,
Yeah, no.
He hasn't given me the
got
pizzazz.
it, returning back in the lineup, Tom.
He did say Nick Foles is a GOAT. Can't believe a Vikings fan said that. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I mean, think about that. A Vikings fan saying Nick Foles is the GOAT. Yeah.
Okay, what do we think about Dallas Goedert coming back?
Yeah, so Chris, get out of here.
God.
This is huge. This is huge because as we saw, whether or not Jalen Hurts is starting this week or not, and Gardner Minshew is, the game that Minshew started last year against the Jets, where he threw 3 touchdowns the first drive, 2 of those touchdowns were to Dallas Goedert. And I mean, granted, Calcaterra and Jack Stoll have been filling in pretty well for us. They've been huge blocking tight ends, called some passes. But the fact that Dallas Goedert is back is huge because he's one of our, I mean, now that he's back, probably top 3 receivers we go to. We would say A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert. He's a versatile player that is good at blocking, good at the deep ball, the slant routes. This guy is going to, with him back, I think it's going to be a better chance for us to have a better game against the Cowboys because I think, it's funny because his name's Dallas and his dad was a Dallas fan and he always
also the pick we picked in Dallas after we won the Super Bowl.
See, I didn't know that.
Pick in the second round.
Did not know that. That's not interesting fact. But I think it's huge to have him back for sure. 1,000%.
Yeah, no, I agree. To have Dallas Goedert back, against Dallas, I know he's got some vengeance against Dallas. And he always goes off on them. So I'm excited to see him on the field this weekend. And as Jack was saying before, Minshew has the connection with him. So I think it's going to be great to see that. And, Dallas Goedert, welcome back.
I think we also need to just stop beating around the bush and focus on one other thing. No. We saw a significant decrease in the talent at the tight end position. We finally were able to see just how important Dallas Goedert is to this offense. And he can block, he can pass, he can do it all. And he does it all at an elite level. When we hear the guys like at ESPN and whatnot, they run whatever stupid calculations that they want to run and whatnot that they get. And he's not really that, and they were like, oh, he's not elite. That's not true, which we just saw these past few weeks with his absence. We had Jack Stoll not be able to be there. Or we had Calcaterra. Neither of them could really even scratch the surface of the productivity that Dallas Goedert brought to that position for us. So I think it adds another weapon for Jalen Hurts in the playoffs. If he plays this week, great. If not, then so be it. Then we also got a Minshew, who he hasn't played at all other than some garbage time this year. So, and let's face it, when quarterbacks are usually just getting started off the bench and even early on in the season, they rely on their tight end a little bit more because they have to get into a rhythm of throwing that deep ball, throwing more crossing patterns to their receivers. Whereas as tight ends tend to run little bit simpler of a route. There's not as much thinking that has to go on there, not as much rhythm that necessarily needs to happen. And so it's something to get Minshew hot, something to get this offense going with a new quarterback at the helm just for at least this week and maybe the next 2 weeks in Hurts' absence.
I think that's a very good point. Like when I was looking out film today to make highlights, Tom, the first person I noticed that Gardner Minshew loves to put the ball in their hands in a Philadelphia Eagles form, in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform, is Dallas Goedert. So bring him back Dallas week. Give this guy his safety net, his assurance policy, everything that he needs, his insurance policy. Sorry, I'm just having a way with words tonight. A lot on my mind. But the point is, at the end of the day, you bring back the guy's safety net, like I said, an insurance policy for him, somebody that he's just comfortable with, comfortable putting the ball in his hands. You see that they have these really good corner routes in the film, pretty down. And that's a comfortable route, I think, for Gardner Minshew to be able to float the ball in the corner of that end zone, just put it in front of Goddard. And hopefully, if we get lucky, we'll be seeing that this weekend. But I think that this was kind of a vital move, too, because it's like Tom said, like maybe Goddard doesn't have to be the starter. Maybe Goddard just comes in every time we're in the red zone for Minshew's confidence and for Goddard's confidence, both to get him going before the playoffs. So I think it's honestly the perfect time to bring him back. And I think he wants to be back, too. We all know the kind of player that he is. So it'll be cool to see him back out there. And hopefully he has a big game because it's for damn sure a big week. Before we get into our last topic, I do want to bring up something that we had talked about a little bit on the show. So everybody's talking about it now, like, oh my God, can you guys believe that A.J. Brown has, 1,200 yards and Terrell Owens had 1,200 yards in his first 14 games. And, A.J. Brown has 74 receptions and T.O. has 77. And, the TDs are a little bit off, but man, they're pretty much right there with each other. I didn't see that coming. Did you not really? Did you? Because I know somebody that did. I'm going to talk my shit to everybody who doubted me because, damn, this is a good problem to have. This is a time that you want to be wrong because it's like, okay, this is a good problem to have because it's nice to have a receiver in Philadelphia that, like, you're like, oh, if the ball's near him, he's going to catch it. Like some of these catches that we've seen A.J. Brown make this year are insane. Like I was watching the film the other day, that catch he had against the Steelers, oh my God, where it was, I think it was his third touchdown or whatever, and he looked at both the receivers that he mossed both of them and he went, this guy's a stud. He's got the personality, but he doesn't have any of the baggage, and that's what I love about him. I already think he's better than Terrell Owens. I talk my shit, but at the end of the day, I mean, stats don't lie, and it's really nice to see that we have somebody that's consistent, that we can rely on.
I agree. Obviously, he doesn't have the hype that T.O. had, but he's showing that he's an X factor. He really is, and he was a great addition to our team. And he's making Jalen Hurts even more confident. And I mean, it shows how much respect the organization has for Jalen Hurts and how much they believe in him to go out there and go trade for this man. And they made the right decision. They really did. So it's already showing that this team is striving with A.J. Brown as a wide receiver, and he's going to keep on balling out for sure.
Tom?
You were right. Happy? You want me to say it? You want me?
I mean, it's a good time that Dutch was right. You know what I mean? It's not like anybody's, I think, upset about it because it's like, okay, it's not like A.J. Brown's coming out being a 600-yard receiver, and you guys are like, Dutch, you're an idiot. You jinxed it. You cursed it. It's more like, oh, shit. Like, this guy's a stud.
Here's one other thing I just want to add. While McNabb was also a running quarterback, when McNabb played compared to Hurts, McNabb didn't run out of the pocket as much as Hurts does. No quarterback in the early 2000s to now ran as out of the pocket as much. The only one you can even fathom running out of the pocket close to as much as the current NFL quarterbacks do today is Michael Vick. And even then, he still might be conservative compared to like Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts running out of the pocket. So in terms of TDs, I think they're essentially even if you take that into account, but that's just me.
I mean, T.O. says more receptions and more TDs and one less yard. So like we hit on it last week, if I'm trying to win a game right now, I'm putting T.O. in with this offense. I think it's kind of funny. Jalen Hurts has his guy, and that's A.J. Brown. McNabb had his guy, and that's T.O. And
Until
then
the next season.
Exactly. And then
Because McNabb's a crybaby bitch, but
jeez. Tommy don't like McFab.
Mike Vick had his guy, and that was in. Would you guys agree would be Deshaun Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah, but that could also been McNabb's guy. You could have said too, because it's not like McNabb and T.O. really had a good relationship. I don't really think McNabb had a guy per se. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I don't know. He had a pretty.
It definitely wasn't T.O. It definitely wasn't T.O.
You had Reggie Brown.
Come on,
Jason Avant.
All right, boys. It is the best time of the year. It's the best week of the year. Well, I mean, we already got our first one. We beat the Cowboys, but we got still a little bit more business to take care of. I don't care that it doesn't matter. I mean, we all obviously care about this game still. I'm not going to sit here and act like we don't. But at the same time, I mean, if the Philadelphia Eagles play Jalen Hurts, that's the dumbest move in the world for me. You already have 13 wins. There's no reason for Jalen Hurts to be out there, to put risk out there, to just do those things. So for me, if it's up to me, I'm putting Minshew out there the whole game, and I'm going to see what he does. If we lose to the Cowboys, so be it. Yeah, it's going to suck as a fan. We're going to have to hear shit from the Cowboys fans. But at the end of the day, I'm not focused on necessarily beating the Cowboys. We've done that already. The main goal, the main thing, tunnel vision for me right now is a Super Bowl. I'm trying to get a championship in this window while we can before we have to pay Jalen Hurts, before we have to pay all these guys. So as nice as it would be to beat Dallas, please be smart. And without further ado, I would like to welcome one of our guests to the show, a good friend of mine, Mr. Chris, Cowboys Beat. Yeah, guys, I brought a Dallas fan on the show. I'm breaking the prime rule. First rule of 302 Birds, never bring a Cowboys fan on the show. Second rule of 302 Birds, you know what it is? Never bring a Cowboys fan on the show. Welcome to the show, Chris. How we doing?
Well, I'm glad that I'm an exception to the rules, so I appreciate that.
Hey, man, welcome to the show, but we'll let you take it away first. I mean, what are you looking forward to seeing this week? I mean, do you think that it makes sense for the Eagles to put Jalen Hurts out there? What's your opinion on all this?
No, I don't think it would make a whole lot of sense to put Jalen Hurts out there. Look, I think that the Eagles can win this game regardless if Jalen Hurts plays or not. I mean, they are a very good football team around Jalen Hurts, and I don't think that Gardner Minshew is a bad quarterback whatsoever. He can definitely go out there and win some games for you, especially with the talent that you have on this team. I don't see any point in playing Jalen Hurts. I mean, I completely agree with you that from a fan perspective, yeah, maybe it wouldn't be the best thing if the Cowboys beat the Eagles, but I mean, it also wouldn't be the best thing to put a quarterback who's dealing with a slight injury right now against their most heated rival, against a team that they're most likely going to play in the playoffs. It wouldn't be the best idea because, I mean, like, look, these are nasty guys on both sides of the ball. Like, both teams are full of nasty dudes. And I don't know. I don't think that it would be a smart idea at all to put Jalen Hurts out there. I think you can win this game with Gardner Minshew, and that's the way I would handle it if I were the Eagles.
Hey, and I brought you some backup too, Chris. I mean, he shares the same name as you. You guys don't spell it the same way, but let's get into it. Cowboys, Chris, welcome to the show. KJ's guy. Did KJ get you that hat or no? I like your other one better.
You know KJ didn't give me this hat. You know that.
Nope.
Hey, how you doing tonight, brother? You excited for this week? What do you think is going to happen?
Say, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. You know it's going to be a destruction of them damn Eagles. That's what's going to happen, okay? Because the Cowboys have no choice but destroy you because you asked for it. Okay, all your fans asked for it, especially KJ McCoy asked for it. You know, I lost the damn bet. He shaved his mustache before the damn game because it was supposed to be a mustache bet. You know, because mine is luscious too. But you know, his was looking.
Hey, I saved your mustache. I saved it. Okay? I saved it for you. All right, there you go.
So only thing I could do now, we ain't got no bet. Oh, matter of fact, hello, Mr. Cowboy Beat. How you doing, Chris? You know, it's nice to see you again. Respect to all Cowboy fans, you know. But I'm back on you damn Eagles. Look, you, Dalton, and Mr. Jolly, old St. Jack, whatever your damn name is. You know what's going to happen. We're gonna stomp that butt, okay? The 302 Birds, y'all talk more hockey and baseball than you do even talk about your damn team. So that's cool. I don't even know why you call it 302 Birds when you talk about everything else.
This week's a light week because I wanted to block out all 45 minutes to an hour, Cowboys, Chris, just so I can tell you about how my guy Gardner Minshew, who's down in a river, chilling, smoking a joint right now, probably doing
Uncle
something like that.
Rico.
All relaxed, Uncle Rico. He's chilling because you know why? He's living on cloud nine because he knows he's coming for that Cowboys ass this week. And the Philadelphia Eagles and Gardner Minshew are going to go down into Texas. Hold on 1 second. And you know what they're going to do, KJ McCoy? They're going to whoop that mother trucking Cowboys ass. We're gonna teach them how it's done. We're gonna show them how football's played up here. And no, seriously, if we go out and Minshew wins, that's gonna be a real mind blowing thing to me. I think the Cowboys should win.
No, here's the thing: it's the perfect storm, because y'all Cowboys lost in overtime to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Doug Peterson is that guy, that Philly guy. And you know what's crazy? Gardner Minshew was on
the one y'all fired, right? The one y'all fired.
On Jacksonville.
Hey, don't bring that up, Cowboys.
Was on Jacksonville before he got traded to the Eagles. And you know what? If Gardner Minshew is playing this week, he's going to take that Cowboy ass.
The one y'all fired.
Again.
Yes, and you still lost to him.
The one y'all fired. We got puppets. We got puppets.
The Muppets are. What the heck? The Muppets are here.
Chris, both Chris's.
I'm listening.
Both Chris's. So I got a family coming up for Christmas. They're from Dallas, right?
All right.
They're Cowboys fans, right? We're watching it at my family's house, and I'm gonna laugh in their face when the Eagles fucking shit on the Cowboys. Gardner Minshew's going off. He's gonna throw 3 touchdowns the first 3 drives yet again.
Are you sure about that, jolly old Saint ass? Are you sure about that?
Yes, sir.
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm happy that you're excited that the family is coming up. KJ got his family coming in that are Cowboy fans. He don't like to explain. Hey,
I might not hug them the next day. I might not hug them.
Hey, Cowboy Beat. He don't like to explain. He don't like to tell people that other side of his family are Cowboy fans, right? He don't like to explain it. Dalton knows too. Okay. Dalton,
no, I don't have any of those relatives in my family. We disown them like the Amish, Chris. Let's get that straight. Your ass gets kicked to the curb.
Hold on. First of all, I love the jacket. I love the sweater. I love the hair. Everything about Dalton I love, but he's a Eagle fan, so I don't like him. So it's all good. I don't want to steal Chris's part of this show, but because I'm animated. Chris is all about X's and O's, and I understand.
That's why we don't want Chris to talk, because Chris is going to start hitting us with stats and shit. I'm like,
he gonna say, but I hit you with a stat that you'll absolutely love. 73 and 47 against the Eagles anytime, any day. We still on y'all ass. It don't matter. Okay. We still on Prescott because he lost 1 game to you, and that's because he sat. Okay,
Chris, you want me to get out the VHS tapes? You want me to get them out? I'm ready to get them out.
I will watch every damn one of them too. Because last time you probably never seen a VHS tape. You probably 12 years old. I'm 53 years old. I'm 102 years old. Okay, so it's no problem. I'll watch them. So, but before you won your championship back in 17, whatever you wanted, it was 60 years before y'all even won shit. So you try that with me, okay? Don't try that with me. I'm gonna have me a drink now. I try to bring energy to your show.
Hey, we love that, man. We love the banter. We love the shit talking. But Cowboys beat, what do you think is going to happen this week? I mean, what are you most looking forward to as well?
So the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is how are the Cowboys going to defend the run against the Eagles? Like, I look at the top teams in the NFC. To me, it's the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the 49ers. The 2 top teams, the 49ers and the Eagles, they run the ball very well. And right now, going back to last week against the Jaguars, the Cowboys were not able to stop the run, which was concerning due to the fact that they lost their linebacker in Leighton Vander Esch, who will not be playing on Saturday, and they lost their nose tackle, Jonathan Hankins, who won't be playing on Saturday either. Jonathan Hankins has been a fantastic player for the Cowboys. He's been, our version of Jordan Davis, and the fact that he hasn't been, playing, it has been a real hit to the defense. So I just want to see how they respond. Another thing that I'm looking forward to as well, I want to see how our defensive line stacks up against the Eagles' offensive line, because that is the best offensive line in football. I don't think there's very much debate to be had in terms of that. So,
you guys are right behind us in sacks too, right? Just to even give your defensive line credit, not to overshadow them. I mean, I think the Eagles I saw are like at 48 sacks, and I think the Cowboys are at like 45. I mean, you guys are right on our tail.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, the thing that kind of concerns me is that, like, the Cowboys had that number one spot and it got taken away from them. So the Eagles are kind of ascending when it comes to their pass rush, and the Cowboys are declining over the course of the season. I don't think that the pass rush is gone or anything like that. I just think that they have to make some adjustments to it. And to me, I don't think that there's a better time to test yourself than playing against the Eagles, even if it is with Gardner Minshew at quarterback.
Yeah. So both Cowboys on the beat and Dallas Cowboys, Chris. Okay, I got a question for you, and this is an actual question. Would you agree that Tony Pollard is better? Tony Pollard's better than Zeke?
No. First of all, you didn't acknowledge my rotating Christmas tree.
I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, where do I get one of them? Can you send me one of them? Like, you send KJ stuff.
Only Cowboy fans can have it. Number one.
Oh, I got one of him.
Oh, man. Number two, I'm not a believer in choosing the running back because they both got a purpose. Okay. Both of I call Zeke the family wagon, and I call Tony Pollard the sports car. Okay, you only take the sports car off when you want to go fast, and you take the family wagon out when you need to go to the grocery store and to go to school. So there are two different running backs, serve two different purposes. So I don't choose which one. Okay, I love them both.
Okay, fair enough.
A fair analogy. I like that.
Cowboys beat.
No, I 100% agree with them. It is hard to choose Pollard or Ezekiel. Both of them are fantastic. They play great roles on this team. And, I more so have a problem with the way Kellen Moore uses them more so than, each of their individual skill sets. One thing that I have a gripe with Kellen Moore is he runs Ezekiel Elliott out of shotgun way too often, which is just not to his best skill set. But I mean, look, these two running backs complement each other very well. Ezekiel Elliott is the like, if you were to look at the Lions, right, like how they use DeAndre Swift, where they use him from they use more so Jamal Williams from the goal line in, or the red zone in, and then, DeAndre Swift does the other stuff. Like, that's where he's most effective. And I kind of think it's the same thing with the Cowboys. Both of them complement each other very well. Ezekiel Elliott's strengths are Tony Pollard's weakness, or I probably should have said that the other way around. Ezekiel Elliott's weakness are Tony Pollard's strengths. And then Tony Pollard's weaknesses are Ezekiel Elliott's strengths. So they complement each other very well. And it is hard to pick between the two. It really is. I know from like an outside looking in perspective, you look at it and you're just like, well, I mean, Tony Pollard is definitely better. Look at the plays that he makes and look at, the explosive runs that he has, but both of them serve a very important purpose on this team. And I love having both of those guys wearing that star on their helmet.
Interesting. I mean, as any Cowboys Eagles game, this is going to be a pissing match, as I like to say. This is going to be a good game. It's not going to be a wipeout on either side. It's going to be a close game. And I mean, it's going to start with if we can get the run game going against you guys. And if we can get those passes on target to Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith.
Jolly old Saint ass. I got a question. Okay.
What's that?
Okay.
It's jolly old Saint Jackass.
Jackass, yes.
Yeah, Jackass. I call him Jackass. So.
I'm wondering why the fourth member of your crew, Ballpark Amish, whatever his name is.
Yes.
With his mom's T-shirt on, a sweater. I don't know. It's literally glittery. I don't. What are your thoughts of the game I mean, are you only about the Phillies, or do you talk football? I don't know.
Oh, he's 4 for 4. And once you get him talking, Chris, be careful.
Well,
Be careful.
I'm trying to draw him off sides with the hard count with his mom's sweater on. So let's go.
This is how I look at it, Chris.
Mrs. Ballpark's really mad about this.
I look at it this way. I think it's going to be a tight game this week just because we have Minshew in there who he doesn't have the same attributes and abilities that Jalen Hurts has. He's not going to scramble out of the pocket as much as Jalen Hurts will, and he's not going to save a broken play the same way Jalen Hurts will. Well, that being said, so he's going to take more sacks, but that doesn't mean he's going to have an inability where he's maybe a smidge better than Jalen Hurts is he knows how to work the ball down the field a little bit better. He knows how to hit his receivers, and he knows when to just check it down. So, all that being said, it's not this thing where I expect this team to just fall apart now that they don't have Jalen Hurts. I can still see them winning this game, especially when they almost lost to Ryan Mills or whatever his name is over in Houston, and he's a god-awful quarterback.
Yep. Davis Mills.
Sorry.
Or General Mills.
Yeah, the long neck. Like, he sucks. Trevor Lawrence
they held their own with us, though, for a while, to be fair, Tom. I mean, I can't sit here and say that night of the World Series that we weren't a little bit scared for the first half.
I'm
when it was
honest,
14,
I didn't
14.
watch any of that game.
I get it. I understand why. I'm checking it on my phone, though, and I'm like, oh, the Texans are kind of hanging with us.
And so, that being said, I think it's going to be a very defensive game. Dakota stinks. He's had one of the best receiving cores in all of football the last 3 or 4 seasons, and he still could not.
I got this, Chris.
Anything.
I got this.
It looks like you're about to get chewed out, Tom. I'll be
I got this, Chris. Look, the Cowboys had a very good receiving core last year, no doubt about it. My question to you is this: how many games did that receiving core of Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Amari Cooper? How many games did they play together?
I have no clue because I'm not a Dallas fan, but
they played 6 games together. All 3 of those guys played 6 games together. Now go back to 2020 when Dak Prescott was healthy and all 3 of those guys played together. Dak Prescott was on pace for, I'm not saying he was going to hit it, but I'm just saying he was on pace for 6,000 yards that season. I mean, look, there's no doubt about it. Dak Prescott is an excellent quarterback. I think that he gets a bad rap a lot of the times, and I think it's because of the organization around him. I don't think that they have properly complimented him with the type of coaching staff that I think that, I think that the Eagles have a fantastic coaching staff, and what their offensive coordinator and Nick Sirianni are doing are playing to Jalen Hurts' strength, and they're making the game a lot easier for him. I think ever since Dak Prescott has stepped in the doors in Dallas, his coordinators and his coaches have made the game harder for him than it needs to be. So that's my take on the whole situation.
So can I rebut now?
Yeah,
because Chris said he had it, but he had the political answer. I got the I'm gonna talk shit answer.
Yeah.
Okay. So number one, you can't beat Dak because you haven't beat Dak. That's number one. Number two, you have. When was it?
They beaten us with Dak. They beaten us with Dak.
Sorry, there's a delay on my end. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's a delay.
They beaten us with Dak.
It's kind of like the Eagles actually winning. It's a delay. Okay, so it took y'all 60 years to win something.
When the storm comes, Dallas Cowboys, Chris, the storm comes.
Okay, so I'm sure it's going to be cold in Philly this winter. Okay, it's a delay. Come on, man. You should have left your mic muted. I try to involve you into this conversation where you feel more wanted as an adult, but I should have just left you there mute because it's ridiculous what you said with your mom's sweater on for Christmas. Look, it's all good. You gotta love your team. I know you do. I know you do. You gotta love Philadelphia cheesesteaks, but hey, I bet a brisket on this game. If you never had one, that's a Texas thing. We're gonna.
Oh, I've had a
y'all
brisket. Brisket is good. I'm a fan of all foods.
I'm talking about a Texas brisket, not that East Coast crap that y'all may get.
Hey, in all seriousness, though, Dallas Cowboys, Chris, I say we make a trip down to Texas next year and we come see you and you show Tommy what some real brisket is.
I've been telling KJ McCoy, my friend, his favorite hat that I paid for because you freaking Eagles beat us. Okay,
hey, wait. Could we get another bet this week? Not to go off on a side note, but will we have you both here? Oh, what do we give away this week? Should it be a sweater vest?
We had a mustache bet, but he shaved his mustache before.
He didn't do that for you. He didn't do that for you. He did that for a lady. I'll just leave it at that.
I already know. I already know when the whole crew is 12 years old when they got facial hair, they need to look younger. I understand. KJ dad say, look, you can't live here anymore if you got the damn mustache because you look old. I understand that too. Okay. So look, I love KJ. KJ know I love him. I love his freaking guts. Okay. He's probably the only Eagle fan in the world that I love other than Dalton. But the ass guy and the ballpark, whatever his name, I don't know. I'm trying to warm up to him. Okay. So, I'm just trying to bring a little entertainment to your show. Okay.
Can we get a bet though? I want you and KJ. I mean, I would love to see KJ send you something in a way. I mean, I'm not saying I want the Cowboys to win, but I would love to get some memorabilia up here, get some memorabilia down there, all in good fun as always.
I would love to bet. Hold on. Let me ask somebody. Hold on. Hey, Ross. Should I bet this fucker?
Hey!
Wait,
should I bet him? Should I bet him? Hold on. Should I pop?
Another opinion? Yo, Lola, you think that they should bet? She said yes.
He was like, hell no.
Animal, I swear to God.
Hey, Chris.
I hate cats, but I'm cat sitting. I hate cats.
If they go down and visit you in Dallas, they got to sign the big house thing.
I'm already planning to do that.
They do. Look.
See, I can't sign it. Chris, I love you to death.
I know you're an Ohio State guy.
Yeah,
I know.
But you know what? I'll consider it for you. But it's gonna.
You're only half good, Chris. You're only half good. Okay. Hey, it's two America's teams. It's two America's teams: the Dallas Cowboys and the Michigan Wolverines. So it is what it is.
I absolutely hate both of your fan bases, Dallas Cowboys, Chris, like with a passion.
Well, Dalton, you got to get over this crap. Okay, it's because your jacket's too tight, and that's probably why. Look, quit wearing your mom's jacket, okay? It's supposed to be a men's size.
This is my grandma's jacket. This is a hand-me-down. You feel me?
I apologize to your sainted grandma. I would never disrespect her ever.
Make us some cookies.
Okay?
Oh, shit.
Your sainted grandma, I would never talk about her, okay? But ballpark and jackass. I mean, Jack, I'm sorry. Look, guys, I need y'all to do better with the sweaters. I just do. I do.
Hey, well, we'll try to bring it next week for New Year's,
but it was a 1 week thing. It
wasn't bad.
Real quick. I have a question for you guys. I know, LaShawn McCoy was a fantastic running back for you guys. One of the 10 best running backs that me personally I've ever seen while watching football. I wasn't around in the 90s. Started watching the early 2000s. He's one of the 10 best that I've ever seen. He is utterly untalented as a sports commentator. And I don't know if you guys saw his comments about Dak Prescott.
We did. We saw it.
I mean, just as an objectively, what's your opinion on that? Because I don't care who it is. And he said some stuff about Kyler Murray that I personally didn't like, and I'm not even a Kyler Murray fan. What's your take on those comments?
Can I go first, guys? I'll take it first. In my opinion, I'm gonna be the nice guy here from Philly, okay, Chris? I'm gonna be your devil's advocate, your good cop, and then we'll have bad cop with jackass. We'll get there. But in all seriousness, I honestly think that this is kind of just disrespectful, in my opinion. You are a professional commentator. Everybody's out here doing their thing professionally. He's trying to make the bag too. completely agree and respect what you said, Chris, about him being undisputed, talented sports commentator as well as athlete. But for what Dak Prescott's been through and everything that Dak Prescott's done, you can't just say somebody's ass on public television. I mean, I get what Shady McCoy's trying to do. Let's be honest. Shady McCoy's trying to make more of a name for himself as a sports commentator. And I think he realizes, okay, what city backs me the most? The Philadelphia Eagles. What is going to get a rise out of Philadelphia Eagles fans? Saying Dak Prescott is a horrible QB, or on live television saying Dak Prescott's ass, Dak's ass, Dak Ascot. We could go on for days. Yeah. But in my opinion, Chris, I think it's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up. In my personal opinion, for my values, I can't sit here and lie because I'm a Philly fan and my bias. I thought it was a little bit unprofessional. I'm not going to lie.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, right? Like, did you guys ever listen to the song Pound Cake by Drake? Anybody ever listen to that?
Yes.
You heard,
I can't wait for this.
You heard the first part of the song where Drake's dad was like, only real music's going to last. All that other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow. That's the type of that's the way I feel about LaShawn McCoy when it comes to like his sports commentating career.
Yep.
You know, it's here today, it's gone tomorrow. Those hot take guys. I mean, the only one that I've ever seen like really keep up the shtick for a long time and actually like, and he has no credibility, the guy that I'm about to say. And I think you guys know who I'm about to say.
Don't say Skip.
Skip Bayless, yeah.
Oh my God, you said Skip.
That's the only person who's been able to actually like maintain a solid career, but he doesn't have credibility. People just watch him and say, what's the stupid thing he's going to say next?
He's pretty funny
Skip
on Twitter.
He's great. I love Skip on Twitter. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of Skip Bayless. But his Twitter is so funny. He'll put everything in caps locks, like certain things that he wants people to know. He'll like cap lock it for like an entire sentence. It's like, Skip, you don't have to yell at us, man. We understand what you're trying to say, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, Chris gave y'all the political answer.
Oh, I love it.
Give you the shit talking answer. Okay. Shady McCoy ain't done shit in his career. Okay, he ain't done nothing. Has he won a Super Bowl?
2.
Has he? No. Okay,
no, he's won 2. He's won
for a few yards in his career. Okay, that's all he did. You see the fingers, the magic thing. He ran for a few yards in his career. That's all he's done. So he's trying to make a name for himself. So only team in the NFL that people can make a name out of is the Cowboys. If you talk about the Cowboys, you get ratings. Okay, when the season started in the beginning of the year, the Los Angeles Rams won the Super Bowl. ESPN, First Take, any show on ESPN and on Fox, they led with the Dallas Cowboys. We didn't win the Super Bowl. And you know why? Is because we get ratings, okay, because it's probably going to be the highest rating show that 302 Birds ever have, because Dallas Cowboy Chris is on it.
I was just saying that. Yeah, I agree.
KJ, what do you think on the whole comment?
You know, I got so much love for Shady McCoy. I got so much. But at the same time, though, I mean, you can't do that as a guy on TV and just start saying the guy's ass. Because, yeah, obviously, as Cowboys Beat said, and I think Dalton also went to this part too, Dak's been through a lot. And me personally, when Dak did get hurt, I did pray for him. And I was like, you know what? I want everybody to be in full health because I want the competition to be the competition.
Yes.
So, I mean, and I know that like some Cowboys fans, most of them are like, yeah, well, we hope Jalen Hurts gets back and he's healthy as well. So, but yeah, that's the main thing for me. But yeah, Shady McCoy kind of went a little, I think he might have seen the comments from Micah Parsons, was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to just go right back and go with an uppercut because of what Micah Parsons was saying about Jalen Hurts, because obviously LaShawn McCoy is still an Eagles fan. He's still an Eagle for life. I think he'll always have the Eagles in his heart. So yeah, I mean, that's why he did it, I think. And yeah, to just get the arousal of the Eagles and the Cowboys game, man.
And that's the thing, right? Like when you talk about, injuries, the only reason why a fan base would wish injury upon another player is because they're not confident in the guys on their team. If you were confident on the guys on your team, you shouldn't be wishing injury upon anybody. You should be like, all right, your guys versus our guys. It doesn't matter who's on the field.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then I'll be
go
honest
ahead,
here.
DJ or Tommy.
Yeah. So I saw the comments. I laughed hysterically when I saw it at first.
By the way, your sweater is awesome.
Thank you. But
They don't sell them in blue, damn it. Don't get any bright ideas.
But you're right. Like when you think about it, it's all about like the hot take right now. Ooh, go look on ESPN. I couldn't name you one like when I was a kid, I could name that person because they've been on ESPN for a while. My dad could name them because they were on when like he was a kid. And like they were there long standing. Now all these people, they're in and out in what, like 2-3 months? Like there was a woman last year, I forget what her name was, but she does Sunday Night Football now. She's on the Sunday night desk. It's because she actually like brought substance back to ESPN. ESPN was like, we want hot takes because that's what's popular right now.
Maria Taylor, I think it is.
Yes, that's her name.
Yeah. That's
ESPN sucks now.
Like,
not the
like
same.
that's on. But Jack, that's my point. Like, I don't really like the hot take like thing that we're doing. And like they kind of know, like I feel like even now, like they know, like, okay, Philly and Dallas are two of the top teams in the NFC. Stats, record, whatever you want to show. Oh, and they know Philly's going to react because Philly has the better record. Or they're gonna they like to throw up some weird stat that just shows Dallas is undisputed top. Well, now you're going to get all the Philly people all riled up because that's kind of just a hot take. They don't provide substance or backing behind it, but they'll put that out there. Now, you have other guys like Emmanuel Acho who will show some backing to it, and then you're like, okay, he's got a point. But I don't see people clicking on Emmanuel Acho constantly. Because
social media
giving a hot take.
Yeah, social media. I agree with Chris.
Social
That's
media
true.
analyst.
Social media.
Yeah.
Yep. Real quick before we move, I want to hit this, Jack, real quick.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dordan, the mayor of Delaware.
Again, thank you, Fantasy Football Network, for sponsoring that segment. The question we had for tonight was, what nickname did Randall Cunningham go by? Again, what nickname did Randall Cunningham go by? And
I know you know this one, Cowboys, Chris. I know you know it.
I know.
What is it, Chris?
Loser.
Cowboys, Chris? Good one.
I knew you'd have something good.
No, the answers were the Ultimate Weapon, Starship 12, Hammy, or both A and B. And the answer is both A and B. He went by Starship 12 and the Ultimate Weapon.
I didn't know B. I didn't know B.
I knew the Ultimate Weapon part. I knew that.
I missed it. Shit.
I did not know Starship 12.
Hey, I thought Hammy was one of the. I really thought Hammy was one of the answers. That's okay.
Appreciate you guys sponsoring the segment. I think we're wrapping up.
That jacket got too tight.
I want to do a quick score prediction real quick before we get out of here because jacket's too tight because we better whoop that Dallas ass.
Real quick, I know you guys got to go, man. Once again, man, thank y'all for letting me come on. I had a blast.
Oh, this won't be the last time too. Thank you for bringing that entertainment. We love it, and shout out to Cowboys Beat too. Both the Chris's, Chris with a K and Chris with a C. Seriously, both you guys are probably my two favorite Cowboys fans.
Oh, man, for sure.
I appreciate
and I'll say that about a lot of people, so don't fuck that up.
Chris knows I like him way better than my uncle, so yeah. Chris is more like family than my own uncle is.
KJ, let him talk. God damn it. Holy shit.
Shut up, jackass.
I appreciate everybody having a sense of humor, man. I'm just trying to bring entertainment, man, and just have a good time with everybody. My prediction for the show, man, is this. The Cowboys have no choice but to bring it to Philly because I think we will meet again in that divisional round. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather for it to be 1-1 than 2-0. Okay. So I got the Cowboys winning this game. Cowboys 35, Eagles 21.
I'll let our guest take it first.
Well, this is what I'll say. I wish Jalen Hurts was playing this game because I think that actually helps the Cowboys because I think that the Eagles run a very different offense than a lot of teams. And I think the more time the more reps you get against that offense, I think the better that is for you, especially if you're going to play them in the playoffs. So it is a little bit of a bummer that I don't believe Jalen Hurts is playing. I don't think he should. But I do believe that the Cowboys win this game. One thing that the Cowboys have done pretty much all season long, and under Mike McCarthy, I mean, obviously there's a lot of gripes you can have about Mike McCarthy. One thing that I can say about him, at least as it pertains to this season, is that the team has always responded well to adversity. And, look, I think that the fact that, they're playing for a second time. It is a divisional matchup. It is in Dallas. And I think that there was a lot of steam coming off of that game in Philadelphia. I think that the Cowboys are going to be ready to play. I think they're going to be motivated. I think they're going to be focused. And I think that, the only team that can beat the Cowboys to me is the Cowboys. And that's a legitimate problem, Mike, because this team does shoot themselves in the foot. I don't think they will this game. I think they're going to be firing on all cylinders, but I think it's going to be close. I think the Cowboys are going to win 27-24.
All right, I'll go real quick. I'm going to say that the Eagles somehow come away with it. Gardner Minshew, Uncle Rico, feeling at home in Texas. Jalen Hurts, he's helping call the plays on the sideline. He's excited. He's going to go home to Houston for Christmas, be with his family. I'm going to, of course, as an Eagles fan, say the Birds come away with the dub. Barely. I'm going to do the flip of what Cowboys beat said and flip it and do 27-24 Eagles because I do like that score prediction. I think it's going to be around a 24-point game both ways offensively. I think it's going to be a dogfight like Jack said earlier. KJ, what do you got?
Yeah, I got a very similar answer. I do think the Eagles will come out with the victory, but I think it's going to be. Hey, I got to go for my team, man. I got to. I got a good feeling. But I'm going with 31.
What the fuck was that?
That's a crow. That's a very crow. It's a raven. I was trying to tell him that's a raven.
Say your goddamn score, please.
Yes, I'm.
Holy.
Jesus.
Hey, Edgar Allan Poe, come on.
Asshole. Okay. I'm gonna go with 31-25. I think it's gonna be a close game for sure. A total dogfight. And I'm ready. I'm ready to go down to Dallas and make Cowboy Chris's Christmas a Christmas disaster.
Action, you can take it first since I stole your thunder on the last part.
You're good. So shout out to my cousin who's watching us, Kendall from Dallas.
Hi, Kendall.
They're coming up this weekend. We're watching at my house, like I said. So the score prediction is going to be 35-28 Eagles. 35-28. And I think it's going to be a close game. I think that we're going to have a few touchdowns with Gardner Minshew throwing to Dallas Goedert yet again. And Miles Sanders is going to rush one in.
Your sweater's too tight. Your sweater's too tight.
Hey, it's not tight enough.
I got a question after ballpark goes.
Go ahead. I'll make it quick then. So I think Dutch, imagine this. My Italian family, gathered. We literally planned dinner around this game. So it's going to be about 4:30 our time. We'll be having our 7 fishes. And you know what the 7 stands for, Dutch? 7 fishes for 7 points. Eagles win by 7, but I think it's going to be a low scoring game.
So you got 14-10. Damn! All right, you might want to put that down in DraftKings because if that hits,
I think both teams have very good defenses. I don't trust both offenses though. After
he is not Italian.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we actually think that Gardner Minshew is going to be able to lead a team to 35 points?
No, that's why I shook my head. No, I don't. I got 21.
I don't even think anywhere near 30 points.
No.
I mean, granted, the Cowboys defense is not as good as it was the first time that they played against each other. They've suffered some big injuries on that defense, but I cannot see a world where Gardner Minshew leads that team over 30 points. Anything can happen, and I could end up being proven completely wrong. I can't say it.
Just right now, I agree with you. As an Eagles fan, I'm biased. I see your point, and I think it's going to be tough. But, I mean, it's not out of the question, though. I think if AJ – it's going to be interesting to see. Like, this game kind of will tell Eagles fans, too, and this is my last point before we wrap up. What's up, puppies? How you guys doing? Oh, I feel so bad for them. They have to live with a Cowboys fan. I feel so bad for those poor dogs.
They wanted to represent the Cowboys. They wanted to be on the show.
But no, that's a great question, Chris, because like seriously, I think as an Eagles fan this week, and this is my last point, just it's going to show us really how good is AJ Brown. How much does he really do for Jalen Hurts? Because say Gardner Minshew goes out and has a 250-yard game, AJ Brown has like 2 touchdowns and 130 yards. You're going to be like, okay, how much of this is AJ Brown? That debate's going to start to pop up. I can guarantee it.
And so my question is, if Gardner Minshew does end up hanging 30-plus points on the Cowboys, do you think that justifies Micah Parsons' comments about it being the team and the system?
I think it definitely raises the question, I'll say unbiasedly, but I don't know if I would say justifies there, but I definitely think I could see it raising an argument like ESPN, anybody really, even just saying, is ESPN. Micah Parsons 100%? Definitely raises an argument. What's the answer? That's up to you. But 100% to answer your question, I think it raises an argument.
All I got to say is, guys, Merry Christmas. Go Birds. Thanks for viewers. Thanks. Happy holidays. Respect you guys watching on.
Chris, Jack, I have one thing I have to say first to our Minnesota.
Come on, Jack's got shit to do.
Ho, ho, ho. Okay, God.
Hey, I owe that to East Side Sports. Ho, ho, ho.
So, guys, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. God bless, Go Birds. Dalton, it's an intro. It's an outro, not an intro. Hit that outro.
Jack, fuck you, bitch. Merry Christmas, 302 Birds Nation. Seriously, thank you for all you guys do. Have a safe and happy holiday with your family. Love y'all.
Ho, ho, Merry Christmas.
And a bah humbug to all the Dallas fans.